Yeah, very notable increases. And, you know, we're seeing the same thing on the temperature front. We're gonna be feeling this, Brad.
Yeah, the heat really cranking up. I mean, just look at the sunshine out there as we look off to the west. From our Mr. Sparky Carolina camera network, not a lot of sunshine to block it out. We had a few clouds here and there, but it really goes to show you the clouds and storms that have tried to build up, they get going and then they collapse because the ridge of high pressure, which is the heat dome, is actually pushing down on us. That's what high pressure is. There's more atmosphere above our heads than when there's low pressure. So the air is pushing down on you, thus the high pressure thing, right? And that actually pushes down on these storms as they develop. It really makes them difficult to develop. And when you see this, we had one develop here. It never moved, but it just dissipated because it didn't move. It just got squashed. You see another one here trying to develop. It squashed as well. But look at that outflow boundary. That green arc, that's a rush of cool air pushing out, likely some dust or bugs in there as well as that pushes out. Those show up on radar as well. If you saw my tweet last night or my Facebook post, we saw the mayfly hatch coming out of Mountain Island Lake and Lake Wiley last night as well. There aren't many showers out there. The sea breeze is the most active area that we've seen some showers and storms today. The heat's the story. You see all of the heat advisories and excessive heat warnings. There are a lot of folks being impacted by this. We're not in a heat advisory yet, but we're getting close. Most of central and eastern North Carolina under that. Areas to our north under a heat advisory. We're likely going to see these expand a little bit, if not tomorrow, certainly on Saturday. What's the criteria for that? Heat index going above 105. Once you get to 110 or higher, that's the excessive heat warning. That's, you know, anytime you get into this category, your body needs help cooling down. Sweating just doesn't cut it. The reason the sweating doesn't work is this. The dew point is so high, there's no more room for the moisture that you're sweating out to go into the atmosphere, so it doesn't cool or evaporate. So you end up sweating more, which dehydrates you, causes you to get hotter. It's this vicious cycle that your body can get into, and that's when you start getting into problems. Heat exhaustion, we've all probably had some minor acute symptoms of this at some point, you know, where you get dizzy, lightheaded. That's where you definitely got to get to a cool spot, get some water, and get out of the sun. Now, if you get to the level where it's heat stroke, this is the deadly part. This is when you need help immediately. You stop sweating, and that's where you will have problems. So make sure you're keeping an eye on the kids, your other family members, neighbors. Look out for each other. And remember, the pets, they're susceptible to the heat as well. And this is going to be a big issue tomorrow into Saturday and even into Sunday as we push 105. We want you to stay weather aware, especially this weekend as people get outside. Charlotte FC's got a home game on Saturday, a lot of tailgate, and I know it's going to be a blast, but it's going to be hot as well. Maybe late Saturday, we might see some pop-up storms. We've got to keep an eye on that potential. Those could be some pretty strong storms, and that could give us a break, but it's likely going to be too late in the day. Your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. Saturday's a day I want you to stay weather aware. We'll keep an eye on the storm chances as we get slightly cooler next week. Low 90s, still above average, but low 90s will feel better as we look into next week.
Yeah, who would have thought we'd be begging for it? The low 90s. Brad, thank you.